Hello my quick brain power friends. Today I want to talk to you about the Walt Disney creative strategy. If you didn't know, Disney has a specific way of how they create Disney movies, Disney animations, and Disney characters, and even something like inside of the Disney, how are they going to manage the company. So I'm going to teach you today the Disney creative strategy, and let's get started. First of all, they have someone, it's called the Dreamer. The Dreamer is something that, what? I have a dream. Think of all the Disney characters, like, you know, let's say they think about Frozen, right? The Frozen, they have the Elsa, she's gonna be a princess in a frozen castle. They're gonna have the what? They're gonna have later on the realist, which is called the realist. How? So she's gonna be the princess. So realistically, what does that mean? That means she might have a mom, she might have a prince, she might have security guards. What is that gonna look like in real life? And then the third thing is the critic. Critic equals why. Why does she have a security guard? Why is the security guard not serving her breakfast? Maybe she has a maid. So this is how Disney thinks of when you see a Disney movie, they go through the circle and they go like this, from a dreamer to a realist, from a realist to a critic, and then bring it all the way back to a dreamer. Basically what this means is, it's not important that they have a dreamer or a realist or a critic. What that means is the continuous loop of, like, they want to have something inspiring and then something that's okay. Aliens in like, you know, on Mars, that's inspiring, but that's not gonna be very real. So let's bring something more real, like, oh, maybe discovering a fossil or something is more real than an alien. And then the critic is like, you know, there has to be some credibility. I was like, oh, why wasn't this fossil discovered yet? Maybe it was like, you know, in a frozen tundra or something in the middle of underground forest in Russia, or kind of. So this is how Disney does the creative strategy. So this is kind of what you need to think about when you're designing a project, a drawing, maybe even a website or a business. Anytime you want to do something creative, you know, painting, you know what I mean? Even something like designing a clothing, like a fashion brand, you want to be a little bit of a crazy person, a little bit of a realistic person, and then a little bit of a cynical person. So optimism, pessimism, cynicism, this is the Disney creative strategy. And you know, you can apply it to your life. Anytime you're being, basically how I use it in my life, anytime I'm busy, I try to think of the opposite. Anytime I'm busy being a positive person, I think of like a devil on my shoulder. How can I be critical of this? Then again, if I'm being in a bad kind of emotion, how can I bring myself from being depressed into being positive and energetic? And then the third thing is, okay, I'm being energetic, and then I'm being negative, and I'm being positive. How can I bring myself towards being neutral? Because it's overwhelming to be always positive, woo ha ha, you know, kind of like hurrah. It's overwhelming to be kind of this leader that people look up to, but at the same time, you don't want to be this depressed person, and then you don't always want to be a leader, but you want to be always in that neutral kind of zone of that cycle, kind of, you know, dreamer, realist, critic, always cycling through. It's not necessarily one is better than the other. What this Disney strategy is trying to teach you is you have to look from different perspectives, different ecological mindsets, different perspectives. And anytime you design a project or something, you can't be locked into the first person. You have to think outside of yourself in a third person. And this is how Disney does it. All right, I'll see you on the next video.